blessed. You have been chosen by God to compete for righteous glory. 8 other champions will enter, but there can only be one MoY. And now, introducing your host, Jake, the gluten-free careless.
What is up, my homies, and welcome into the MoY PLOY. Joining me today, Peter Cheater Piku Hot Sizzle O'Donnell. I am your boy, Jake, the gluten-free careless Piku, dude. Welcome back, man. It's good to have you back.
Kisses to everybody. Kisses. It's good to be back. What a great draft. An interesting night to break down.
Yes, it was electric. All right, fellas, without any further ado, we are here to break down the draft, so let's do exactly that. Bada boom, bada bing. Y'all see what I see? All right, let's get straight into it. Let's see if I can make this a bit bigger for you blindos out there who can't see nothing. Let's break down Jake, I Am Your Father. That is Todd Harris, the father of the Gluten Freak. The Gluten Freak father. Round 1, bold pick. How do you feel about it?
Game-changing pick. I think it's the right pick.
Oh,
I think
wow.
I think it'd be Cooper Kupp could be the #1 scorer again in the league. Easy.
Another
There's
interesting strategy I saw coming out of Todd here was that he went early tight end. He has been an early tight end guy for years now.
Forever. And I don't want him to change. Look, what do we know about
I assume
TOD?
you said I don't want him to change?
Yeah, and I don't want him to change. I never want him to change. What do we know about TOD? He's a bottom 3 scorer. No, bottom 4 scorer every year he's been in the league. You can guarantee.
Look, on the Madden ratings,
this team is incredible. He drafted incredible the year before that.
I don't know how I feel about this draft.
He might panic and trade if one player acts awry. He's got Amari Cooper, who I love Amari Cooper. I love CEH, TB12. He didn't.
But do you like CEH in the 6th round, 44 overall, 20 picks ahead of ADP?
No.
Correct.
No.
Correct, and that's the problem here. Here's the problems I have with this draft. I don't mind Cooper Kupp. I don't mind a high-risk, high-reward Derrick Henry. I don't like Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans.
Think Derrick Henry is high-risk, high-reward?
Yeah, very high injury risk. 28, 29-year-old running back that just. I mean,
dude, I think he's
like
so good.
the efficiency's just been going down. And then I think when you look at,
I hate the secondary matrix on this because they do all point downward trend.
I think Mike Evans getting taken here at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th receiver off the board. I think you're taking him higher than his ceiling. Last year he had something like 14 touchdowns, the most he's ever had, as well as the second most receptions he's ever had, and he was still like wide receiver 9 in PPR. I think the offensive line, like everything in Tampa Bay, is like kind of trending a little bit down. The offensive line, the weird Tom Brady's not there stuff, just kind of bad. It's bad vibes, weird vibes out of Tampa Bay right now. Eventually, like the reason Mike Evans is going that high is the Chris Godwin injury, and eventually Chris Godwin will be back. But I don't want to spend too much time on every single team. The picks I loved Tua Tags as a pick in round 9. I was going to get him if he was not taken, because I'm a believer that when a quarterback gets elite weapons, they begin to produce. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see Tua Tags do things we have not seen him do in his career so far, and especially with a 6-point passing touchdown, not having that sort of rushing upside, not as big as a hamstring this year. What do you have a favorite pick of his?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. All right, you got reasons why?
Yeah, like Amari Cooper, I just think that he's an underappreciated wide receiver. He's always throwing up 1,000-yard receiving yard seasons, and I felt like they just let him go out of. I don't know if it was a money thing. I didn't really pay attention to why
It was
they
a
let
money
him go.
thing. He was basically owed like $20 million, and none of it was
Like-
guaranteed. So
They're gonna want to try and win these games because Deshaun Watson comes back week 11 or week 12. And
yeah, you're absolutely right. They're not phoning it in at
no,
all.
so Jacoby Brissett's gonna throw, and so who's their number one option? Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you're absolutely
He
right.
can deliver.
Yeah, I think you're right. My other favorite pick of this draft was Pat Fryermuth. I thought that was insane value to get in the 17th round. Whenever we see an elite tight end emerge and break out, it happens in their second year. Travis Kelce exploded in his second year. Mark Andrews came out in his second year. TJ Hawkinson, even though I wouldn't consider him elite, like he is upper echelon, and he also began to like truly produce in his second year. I think Pat Fryermuth had an insane rookie season, and we could absolutely see him come out and dominate this year. I mean,
I see it. I see it within the realm of possibility. I'm not going to deny it.
yeah,
I
like
just think the
he could
Steelers-
absolutely overtake.
Steelers-
He could absolutely overtake Chase Claypool and a rookie George Pickens for the number 2 target
I know.
in the offense.
What's wild is that the Steelers have all these insane weapons.
So
Deontay
many
Johnson,
weapons. Yeah, yeah.
Pickens,
Yep.
Claypool, Fryermuth,
Yep.
Najee Harris, who's got a Liz Frank injury, but whatever.
But he's still
got all
hurdling
these-
people in preseason games.
They got all these.
It's
they
not.
have
It can't be that serious if he's starting in a preseason game.
Is that why Kenny Pickett's going to succeed when Brett
Yes.
picked up Kenny Pickett? And
Yes.
That's going to be a strong.
When Kenny
pick.
Pickett starts, he will succeed. Guarantee it. All right, let's keep moving. Let's talk about Team Zach.
Z-Warn.
Z-Warn. Yeah, Z-Warn.
Z-Warn. An incredible first round pick. Eckler.
Yes.
A wide receiver 2, a running back 1.
Lamar Jackson's second round as the 10th overall pick. I liked that Z-Warn knew what was up with the quarterbacks here. He grabbed early QBs, elite QBs, rushing QBs. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. I think Kyler with that extra weapon. Kyler with that extra weapon is. I think he's got a chance to push for the quarterback 1 this league this year.
I know.
Um, I agree. I totally agree. I think you look at Z-Warn's team, and this dude's clearly plugged in. He came to play. Rookie manager here. He came to play, man. He's got upside all over the place right here. I love the value he got. Devontae Adams in the 4th. I bet he couldn't believe his fucking eyes when the 11th rated player dropped to number 26. I think Nicholas Chubbius in the 5th, 39 overall. It's great value. It's RB2 territory. It's where you want Nick Chubb. DJ Moore, Brees Hall, elite upside. Cortland. Like, it's just stacked with upside.
I really like the Dalton Schultz pick in the 11th.
I don't think he's
You're not
going
a
to
Dalton
be.
Schultz guy?
No, I mean 11th round is late, but I also
I'm gonna let Ray handle that argument for me one day. Ray knows about the truth that is Dalton Schultz.
look. Dalton Schultz was great, but I don't feel like he didn't really have elite league winning or week winning performances last year. Now, situation is better, but whatever. I love the Sky Moore pick. My favorite picks in his draft are probably Chris Olave, and I really like the Brees Hall pick.
Sky Moore.
You like Sky Moore?
Sky Moore.
Yeah, I love Sky Moore. I love Sky Moore.
I wanted him.
I was
He got
between Chris Olave and Brees Hall, but I think those in the later rounds. Why on earth would you pick a floor player in the late rounds? Like Robert Woods, like we're about to talk about here, makes
took a
absolutely
Jarvis
no
Landry.
sense.
I took a Jarvis Landry. It was a dumb pick. It's a floor player.
Yeah, I actually think Jarvis Landry has a potential stealing now that he's out of his role that was basically 8-yard slants in Cleveland.
Faded.
I mean, Jarvis Landry was actually good until OBJ came to town, and then they were like, all right, OBJ is going to run the alpha routes, and now Jarvis, you're just going to run nothing but slants and 5-yard curls. All right, Brent.
Let's talk about Brent. 10.
Justin Herbert.
Did he learn a lesson from last year when he traded Justin Herbert to you?
He did trade Justin Herbert to me.
For Kirk's Cousins.
He did. He did trade that. Now, I actually think Brent has had a sneaky good draft, mixing in some great upside players as well as some solid vets. I don't love the tail end of his draft. I think he just grabbed guys whose names he knew, not necessarily guys who have true upside.
KP.
Yeah, so like Herbert, elite upside. Kelsey, love it, solid, dependable. And you know what? Slightly increased upside is there's less targets. Tyreek, again, I think Tyreek is fine. I know he's not going to be the Tyreek that was in Kansas City, but like, what are they going to do? Trade all that for him and then not use him? No, he's going to get used. Lenny, it. Jerry, these are the two picks right here. Yeah.
Jerry Judy.
I think Russell Wilson and Jerry Julie are going to do the thing this year. I really love having that stack. Yeah, its stack is great because it gives you explosive weeks, just like Taco Bell.
Yep.
Adam Thielen, I think that was a bit of a reach. Montgomery, I don't love Monty, but
you know who I do love? I love Devin Singletary and I love Rashad Penny.
Hate Devin Singletary. I think if Singletary had any upside, we would have seen it by now.
Love it.
The price tag wasn't bad, 75, but I think Singletary was scheduled to go off in like the 90s or something.
I love it.
I actually do like Renfro.
Love Renfro.
I do like Renfro. I've been shitting on Renfro forever because it's so fun to call him a second grade math teacher.
Can Brent compete? He got projected ahead of me by Watson, but I'm projected to beat him week 1 by 7 points. So I'm like, what is Watson talking about?
Watson doesn't know shit, man.
Who do you trust? Do you trust Watson? What did Watson say at the beginning of last season? Was I projected to finish last?
Probably.
And
generally, who's ever projected to finish last is going to do really well because Watson's dumb.
Watson lied.
If you're all new to the ESPN leagues, Watson is essentially the supercomputer in air quotes who projects
the grade grader.
Yeah, Watson projects the essentially how the season's going to go. All right. The picks that I loved of Brent's coming down the stretch, I loved the Rashad Penny pick, loved the Kenny Pickett pick.
Rashad Penny,
and I kind of liked Zach Ertz for the value that he was getting up here there in the 15th round. Those are the picks that I liked the most, besides the stack that he put together.
That's my value, guys.
All right.
Corrupt.
Now, I have always been a guy who drafts floor players, and I'm so sick of it because I finally realized something last year when I drafted, I drafted all floor players, and they all burned me. And I realized that there is no such thing as a safe floor in fantasy football because the floor is fucking lava. Like, the floor of every single player is 0 points. They get injured, it's 0 points. They ride your bench because they've sucked, like Allen Robinson sucked last year, it's 0 points. The floor of every player that you draft is actually 0 points. So they're like the whole misnomer that there's a safe floor to certain players. It's not true. It's absolutely not true.
But there's a safe upside.
But there is upside. So I drafted with only upside in mind. So I went, I felt like the league was going a little bit running back heavy, so I zigged. Went wide receivers. I weren't any QBs. I felt like were truly game changers. And with only 2 QBs in an 8-team league, I felt like I'd be able to find value later. Went upside with these two, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams. I feel like Aaron Jones has a chance to increase his role, and he was like running back 4 last year or something crazy like that. So with Devontae Adams gone. Kyle Pitts, second year tight end. Second year is the year they break out. Kyle Pitts is a freak. Enough said. Trey Lance, he runs, running scores. More young upside guys, basically. Kirk Cousins was kind of a panic pick, and then I felt like he was kind of borderline in a 6-point passing touchdown league.
I love the Kirk Cousins pick.
I felt like Cousins Jefferson stack was going to be good for me. And my stack of, what's his face, Joe Burrow ended up evaporating because I think I took these two guys here.
Drake London? No.
Then I went Elijah Moore, Drake London, Chase Edmonds, James Winston, Treylon Burks, just a bunch of rookies essentially, and Darrell Henderson to round out my draft.
Love it. Love the Pickens pick, the Julio Jones.
Yeah, I started reaching for the guys that I thought had actual
High upside.
and real
High
upside.
bro.
Yeah. All right, problem child.
The
Talk to
problem
me.
child. The problem child. I took the glass cannons. I couldn't say no to the temptation that is CMC.
Your draft looks incredible for 2019.
2019 Dalvin Cook. Did you know that Dalvin Cook has finished second, and like ninth in his RB finishes or something? He's
Yeah,
pretty decent.
and he's due for a lot of positive touchdown regression. I loved Dalvin Cook, and if he got back to me, I was taking him.
I got a little dangerous, and I favored a lot.
I
of the
almost took Dalvin
Detroit
Cook in the first
Lions
round.
running backs.
That's true. You went
I got
all
a
in
wide
on the Lions.
receiver. I got a wide receiver. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Jacksonville and
I don't know.
Detroit.
I channeled my inner Philly beef in homage to our late brethren from the league, the philosopher Phil.
All right, let's keep it moving with the strategy
All
talk
right.
here.
Okay, things that I thought the George Kittle pick in the 9th was
Insane.
incredible.
Great job.
Insane value. I panicked at QB. I didn't do a good job with my QBs, and so
I
I'll be
love the Joe
looking-
Burrow pick.
Yeah, I'll be like the Joe Burrow pick was my only good QB pick. I missed my windows for other picks. I greeted for other picks.
Yeah, I thought Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields was fine as a 1-2. I just don't know if you needed to take a quarterback before filling out your starting roster. A third quarterback
I
before
agree.
filling out your starting roster.
I agree.
I also didn't love your Tony Pollard pick, as Tony Pollard went into your flex at that point in the draft, and I don't think
True.
Tony Pollard is a flex-worthy player in an 8-team league.
I'm in trouble on I need depth, and I didn't get good depth. This could be.
I actually do think Nico Collins actually has a
Could be a
chance to
flex
come
player.
out and be like he could be
flex.
he could be Cortland Sutton when Cortland Sutton broke out.
6'5", 215, and he
Yeah.
just goes up and gets it.
That's exactly. I mean, that's the same size as Cortland Sutton, and he
The
could
Cowboys are
absolutely
gonna
have the Cortland
throw.
Sutton type of breakout in his second year here.
The Cowboys have to throw.
I think you mean Texans. Oh, you're talking about Tolbert. Okay.
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert. He's the only. He's one of the only healthy wide receivers.
Yep. But a lot of high. We got 3 great upside picks here on the back end.
Yep.
Now let's keep moving. Let's talk about Team Brett Fitzgerald. B Fitz. B Fitz
do I
coming
love?
out strong, snagging the hometown hero. The intro. What's up, my homies?
He went AK-47,
Yes. Then he went AK-47. Thank you for
top 5 RB. Just saying.
just saying. Yeah, I actually do think Alvin Kamara still has a lot of juice. I think his ADP was artificially pushed down by his legal, by the fact that he beat the shit out of some dude at a bar.
I'm like everybody fading Debo. I don't like Debo this year.
I like Debo. Here's why. He's still
They paid
young.
him, they're gonna use him.
They paid him. They're going to use him. And I don't expect Debo to repeat his performance. But his performance last year, if it wasn't for Cooper Kupp's insane season, Debo was a wide receiver too. And his season was good enough for the wide receiver 1 in an average NFL season.
It's true.
So, like, if Cooper Kupp hadn't done what he'd done, we'd be talking about Debo in the first round this year.
Isn't that
But
crazy?
his season kind of got overshadowed. I get the Trey Lance hesitation, but if you want a young quarterback to succeed, why would you not just continue to do what you did with Debo last year, where you're designing a bunch of short passing plays to just get Debo into space and do his thing? That's what I would do.
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan's a smart man. He'll figure it out.
Brett is considered top 4 by Watson.
He also got CD's Nuts Lamb.
Brett's considered number 3. He's going to finish third.
There you go. I wasn't crazy about the Keenan Allen pick. I feel like Keenan Allen is a low ceiling player who's
I like
got
Mike Williams.
who's got a downward trajectory. Yeah, exactly. I think Keenan Allen is a low ceiling player with a downward trajectory to his career. He's gotten less efficient every season for like the last 3 seasons. I think Mike Williams has a very strong chance to overtake him as the alpha. Zeke is actually kind of a steal in my opinion, as it felt bad to have Zeke last year because I took him in the 2nd, but this year Zeke in the 6th, and you're probably going to get the same production that you got out of him last year. It's great. Absolutely great. Didn't love the next couple of picks. I felt like he really started hammering running back when he didn't need to. He had already had 1, 2, 3 good running backs. I don't love Cam Akers. I'm out on Achilles injuries when it comes to running backs.
No, thank you.
But when you've invested this kind of draft capital into 3 guys, like you don't want to be flexing running backs if you can avoid it. It just doesn't pay off. And then he quadruples down on that strategy with Antonio Gibson. And then the kind of receivers that he's going to be flexing are guys like Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup, Mecole Hardman, Van Jefferson. Like, I'm not excited to put any of those guys in my lineup.
Yep. I didn't put any good flexes either. I know the pain. I got to get some flex.
All right, let's talk about your favorite, Ray Mertz.
Ray's World, track to great, starts to tank.
Yeah, it's back, baby.
Go, Ray.
It's back, Ray's World.
What did I know? I knew Ray was going to get Stephon Diggs on the third round pick.
Ray is a huge...
I did not expect the Joe Mixon pick. I didn't think
Ray is a huge Stephon Diggs truther. I think he's had Stephon Diggs 3 years in a row now.
3 in a row.
I was not expecting the Joe Mixon pick, but I was expecting him to go running back. And I think Joe Mixon was the highest ranked running back there, so I wasn't surprised. I like Mixon. The situation that got him success last year hasn't changed. It's only gotten better. Now he's got a better O-line to run behind. I love Joe Mixon. Give me Joe Mixon all day, every day.
How do you feel about Jalen Hurts?
Loved him. If he was available, I was taking him, but Ray sniped him. Deontay Johnson, Travis Etienne, Darnell Mooney, Allen Robinson. A lot of high upside here coming down the stretch. Rashad Bateman, I don't like Rashad, but hard to argue with the price tag. I just like other guys that are going around Rashad much more. But, I think we've kind of got the same situation that produced Marquise Brown's great season last year in Baltimore, in that running backs are injured, a lot of question marks.
The
defense probably still sucks, and someone has to get the ball. So, they were like one of the worst defenses in the league last year against the pass. They're probably going to end up in a couple shootouts, and they're going to have to throw. Dameon Pierce, love it. He reached about 10 picks for him. Don't hate it at all, though. Love the pick. A.J. Dillon, another great value. Kadarius Toney, a lot of high upside. DJ, I actually think DJ's got upside
in
fantasy.
A Ray Rat team. This is all of Ray Rat's guys from last year.
I actually, these aren't the guys I liked when I was picking, but all of these guys have got a lot of upside. All of these guys could turn into league winners, basically from here down.
Yeah. And Ray's got a history of drafting great.
And then starts to tank. And Ray's Madden rating, as far as drafting, is like a 99. Ray's a very solid drafter. It's the managerial part where he's like probably a 35. And just really brings it overall down. All right, we've got last but not least, Eddie the King Distler.
Eddie.
I think I have an Eddie drop from the other, yeah. What up, brother? All right, let's see. My headphones are dying here. Let's talk about Eddie's draft. He had a dumbass strategy. Let's break it down. Jonathan Taylor, love it. Najee Harris, love it. Saquon Barkley, love it. 3 running backs to start your draft. Fantastic, solid strategy. It is a proven winning strategy. Super flex, he somehow gets Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, 5 and 6. Incredible. And he starts getting Matthew Stafford. Okay, I'm not sure what you're doing. You're passing up on a lot of great players going around pick 50 here. And honestly, I would have taken Matthew Stafford over Aaron Rodgers. Definitely. DK Metcalf. Okay, he's talented enough that if Seattle can figure out how to get first downs, DK could have a solid season.
If they put the ball in his vicinity, can he go get it? I don't know.
And there's a chance that they trade for a quarterback. There's a chance.
True.
Chris Godwin. Okay. I'm fine with that, but I don't
like
love
Davis.
my wide receiver 2 or 3 like starting the season injured.
That's true.
So I'm not sure how I feel about it. Gabe Davis is a high risk, high reward pick. I'm off on Gabe Davis this year. I'm fine being a year too late on Gabe Davis because he couldn't get past 34-year-old Emmanuel Sanders and 33-year-old Cole Beasley last year.
Cole Beasley.
Is he really that good? He had one great game, and everyone's like slobbing on his D, but I'm not. I'm out. I'm out.
You're not buying the Kool-Aid?
No, I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid.
All right.
Sanders, okay, there's upside there. I think the offense is going to be a lot better this year, which could potentially equal more red zone opportunities for Sanders. Kirk, the only horse in town, fine with that pick. Hawkinson, great value in 13th round. I think Stevenson-Harris combo is interesting. I feel like you're limiting your upside by taking 2 running backs on the same team. I feel like that is...
you're not diversifying your portfolio enough.
Well, not just that, but like if one of my favorite podcasts told me, like if I told you, if you're like in a canoe race, right? And I told you, if someone else's boat springs a leak, you get an extra paddle. And then if I said, or you can have that option, or if your boat springs a leak, then you can patch it. Which option would you take? I would be taking the option that if someone else's boat springs a leak, any one of the other 7 teams springs a leak, I get an extra paddle. Suddenly, I'm flying past all these people on the course. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I have to pull over to the side and patch my boat, I'm going to lose that race anyways. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what it's like when you draft your own backup, is you're drafting a patch. Like, if you had, for example, Alexander Madison and Dalvin Cook. Like, when Dalvin Cook goes down, all you're getting is like 75% of Dalvin Cook. When, if someone else had Dalvin Cook and you had Alexander Madison, if Dalvin Cook goes down, now all of a sudden you just get a free Alexander Madison, which is 75% of Dalvin Cook, to put into your flex or your running back 3 position. So I don't love the strategy of doubling up running backs off the same team that are going to be spelling each other. But I do love both. I just don't love them on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like that little shot I took at you, Peter?
It doesn't bother me, but I just feel like protect your investments.
Protect your investments, but not in redraft. I don't think that's what you do in redraft. I think you go for the gold. I don't think you play for second place. All right, let's see. More quarterbacks coming down the stretch with Wilson, Tannehill, Wentz. It just felt like Eddie didn't quite know who to pick and thought, you know what? These guys should get drafted because this is a 2 QB league, and I'm going to use them as trade bait later. I feel like there were still guys with a lot of upside here in these rounds. And Eddie missed out on them because he is taking guys that are not going to be better than the 3 guys he has up here. And in that case, you're really literally only taking them to start or to trade to other managers. And like, who are you really going to get for Tannehill, Wilson, and Wentz?
Eddie, call me.
I know Pigu's trying to get one of the elite
Eddie,
quarterbacks off your hands.
Eddie, I'll call you week 3.
Week 3. Yeah, so I think if you're quarterback needy, definitely starve Eddie out. Make him deal for cheap. All right, that is it, fellas. Thank you guys for listening to the draft recap. Hope you enjoyed. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Pigu, anything you want to say before we roll out?
Good draft tonight, boys.
Good draft.
Looking forward to the season.
Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you to the Missouri Aquarium Society for sponsoring this video. Enjoy the pictures of fish. We out.